Hey everybody, what's going on? Your host LovelyCheesePizza here. Welcome back to Let's Play some more Gran Turismo 3, the ultimate driving simulator, where we get to go right back in to the beginner league, of course. We will get out of the beginner league at some point, I promise. It may take another 207 years, but I vow to you that I will get out of it in one piece. And we're going to finish up the last part of the GT World Championship by knocking out Grand Valley Speedway, which is going to take a really long time because for some reason they felt the need to give that 3 laps. And we'll see who we're up against here. Do I get to have my revenge against the Raws? No, but I do get the Super Autobax Apex. That could be interesting. That could provide some interesting encounters going through this. So we'll have to be on our A game here. Hopefully things will not provide a shitty outcome. I do not need any more shitty outcomes. I have had more than enough shitty outcomes in the last 36 hours that I think I've had enough for a lifetime at this point. And I mean that in the most literal and figurative way possible, as by stating this, I am saying that in the last 36 hours, I have had diarrhea. I'm not fucking kidding you. I have had it 16 times. 16! Like, I have done it enough times that it is now able to go and get a driver's license if it so pleases. And that is simply unacceptable. Like, at this point, you probably will ask yourself, or ask me, Adam, how is that even possible? Like, how does your ass even exist at this point? Like, has it not, phased out of existence and moved into, a different part of the universe by now? And the answer is no, it is, still a part of me. But it basically, it hurts to sit down right now. It hurts to sit, it hurts to stand, it hurts to exist. It basically feels like a combination of two things simultaneously right now. It feels like somebody shoved an acetylene torch up my ass and turned it on. That's one. And then while that's going on, it also feels like the same person, after doing that and fixing it with with a nice vise or something, he went into his tool shed, because this is where he would store that apparently. He went into his tool shed and he took out his nice giant serrated hunting knife. And you're probably saying, well, what the hell would he have done with something like that? Well, this is what he did. He took that serrated hunting knife and he dipped it into a nice thick and chunky, for some reason, solution of Tabasco sauce, Cholula, Sriracha, and I don't know, insert other hot sauce name, and he just crammed that thing right up my freaking keyhole and just started twisting it around. He just started shaking the maracas or whatever with that thing, and oh god, it's basically like coming out like hot sand at this point. Like there's no solidity, there's no solidness, there's no solidity. I don't even know if that's even a word. I don't know if solidness or solidity are even words. Like I'm losing the fabric of my own sanity because of all this. And oh god, it's terrible. Like it's like a bag of foliage. Like it almost looks like fragments of leaves. It's just, oh man, like I could basically quit my job and become like a human factory for the little flakes that they put into Goldschlager. Like that's what I'm up against right now, and it is simply bad. And so I think I've tortured you enough now with knowing all that information. But it's so weird. Like, I think the weirdest part about all of this is, so obviously it's like a touch of food poisoning, obviously. Like, nobody just wakes up and just out of nowhere starts having just raging freaking ass piss. But the weirdest thing is, like, normally when you get food poisoning, like, you feel just terrible. Like, you feel nauseous, and obviously I've got sad ass going on. But, like, I feel largely normal. Like, I don't feel, you know, I don't feel, like, compromised in energy. I don't feel really anything out of the ordinary at all. Like, I feel actually very normal. It's just the fact that my ass sucks. And, I hate it. It would be nice to not, and I haven't really gotten any sleep either. Because, you know, pretty much all of last night, I had just this extreme paranoia. I just had this horrible, like, looming paranoia that at any given moment, if I actually fell asleep, you know, beyond some level of consciousness, that I was gonna, like, lure myself into, like, this false sense of security that everything's okay, and then I was gonna wake up in the morning having, like, shit the bed without knowing it. And then, you know, the reality would set in that I'm a 29-year-old man that shit the bed. and that would ruin my psyche for the rest of my life. Be like, oh, and somehow everybody would know, even though I wouldn't tell them. It would just, everyone would know. There'd be like a floating arrow that would, you know, all of a sudden arise out of the pulpit, and it would go right above my house. I don't know why it comes out of a pulpit, but it does. And it'd be like, oh, this guy's 29 years old and he shit his pants in bed. It was totally involuntary, but we should still laugh at him anyways, no matter where he goes in society, because we can hang it over his head forever. Oh my god, I need to itch my nose right now. I can't do it. Oh god. Oh, I'm doing it. Oh, multitask. Ah, there it is. We're good. I'm sure this is the topic you guys really wanted to hear tonight. You're like, oh yeah, I'm gonna tune into Gran Turismo 3 tonight. I can't wait to hear what he talks about. Oh, he spends 7 minutes talking about diarrhea. That's great. That's everything that I wanted. Oh god. This is, oh no you don't. Oh no, we will not be playing that game tonight, my friend. I am the one that you know, initiates the game of chicken. It is not you. I will be the one that makes the hard and heavy choices out here. And just like that, we have won! We have won with the Bush of Might! Alright, well, our last lap and our best lap were very, very similar. It's pretty good. That's the model of consistency right there. Only being 0.3 of a second off from one lap to the next. Pretty good. And also, we got $10,000 out of it, so we're at $200,000. This is very good. I wouldn't assume that we would get another prize vehicle by getting all gold. That doesn't seem like that would happen. But you never know. Doesn't look like it's going to happen. I wouldn't expect that, really. I mean, you should only get the prize out of the series. Okay, well, that looks so much better. That looks so much better. And now that we have that out of the way, let's dive into our next challenge here. Because now that we have the money, I think what we're going to do is we're going to go jump into Mercedes, and we're finally going to do this. We're finally going to do it. I'm going to save real quick. I'm not going to save real quick. We're just going to do this. I'm going to take... God, it's so much money between one to the other. I'm obviously not going to get this one, because there's no way it's going to stand up to the other ones. 193 as compared to 347? I don't think so. God, it's so spendy. What the hell is going on? 361. I would rather spend $40,000 less and only lose like 14 horsepower or 16, whatever, I don't care. So I say we go with this. Now, what color? What color looks good? Ooh, I like the red. I don't want, I'm trying to inject a little bit of variety as far as colors are concerned. Ooh, man. That doesn't look like blue at all to me. That looks really a lot more like a... Oh, no, I can see the blue now. I see it. You know, I feel like when it comes to a Mercedes, you gotta stick with the classy colors. You gotta either go with a white, you gotta go with like a gray, or you gotta go with black. I don't feel like you can go with your, you know, kind of designer colors and whatnot. I think you gotta... Oh, God, that looks so sleek. All right, we're gonna do it. We're gonna take this one. It might be a mistake. It might be a mistake. I really hope it's not a mistake that we take this car. I just don't want to spend 133 grand, man. I feel like we should have everything that it takes to win this, just so long as, you know, we purchase the right parts. So let's get our racing chip. Obviously a very important thing to have. Very good. Let's get... Ooh. Okay, so we can only do stage 2. That seems fine to me. So what is that? Obviously, it can't be turbo. Yeah, that makes perfect sense. Okay, so we'll do the stage 2. I mean, that's where they cut off the line. That seems fine by me. I don't have to have that looming worry that, oh my god, are we going to need that one? We'll take this. Over 500 right now. This thing's got some power, man. 5,000. Do we do this? Oh my god, yes. Holy shit. That's a sizable upgrade right there. Who would have known that just polishing the port does all the work? Okay, and then we'll get ourselves some sports tires. I just don't feel like we should have to buy, you know, racing slicks for this. It might be, who knows. I may vastly regret what I'm about to do otherwise. Do we do one of these? 13 hundo? Sure, why not? That seems okay. That's not, I don't feel like I'm going to regret being like, oh my god, I wish I really had that 1,300 bucks right now. I mean, in real life, I will say that every day, because I'm a man that's, you know, hard-pressed for cash on a fairly regular basis, to no fault other than my own. Test course, really? That's got to be the first one we do? Alright, I mean, this'll give us all we need to know, in terms of whether we're going to succeed with this or not. But we'll see what happens. Alright, who are we up against here? Please tell me not the touring car. Ooh, a lot of CLK 55s, and one 600, and one terribly unfortunate compressor. I feel so bad for that guy. He doesn't stand a chance. Oh, that's terrible. He's gonna be like, alright man, I'm gonna go in here, I got a good chance to win. And he's like, oh god, not the other ones. Where did it say on the flyer that those ones were allowed in here? And there's a 600? Oh no! Okay, where is that 600 at? Where could he possibly be? I don't know. These cars all kind of look exactly the same, so I really couldn't tell you at this point. It's nice to see that we're jumping out pretty heavy like this. The question is, though, is what happens later on when we start, you know, plateauing out on speed? When is it that 600 is going to be like, hey, surprise, motherfucker! He's going to pull out that Sergeant Dokes, and we're not going to be prepared for it. But we'll keep an eye on it. Maybe, just maybe, we'll get lucky, and it'll just be like this the whole time. So, in other news, dude, I read something weird. In other news, there was a and this is not a typo, there was a 10-year-old Yemeni girl. So she was from Yemen. Her name was not Yemeni, as far as I'm aware. There's a 10-year-old Yemeni girl that was granted a divorce from her abusive husband. What the hell? Like, okay, so she's 10 years old. She's 10 years old. First of all, how old is the dude that dude and or boy that she's married to? Like, are we talking like another like 10 to 12-year-old boy? And like, if they're in the same age bracket, exactly, God, we're almost going 200 miles an hour. Give me that 200. Let me experience it firsthand. I must know. We may never get there. We got to 199. We may never know what 200 feels like. I think we're going to be just fine here. I think we're going to wipe the floor with these dudes. Or else I'll be wiping the walls with you. So, if in fact, you know, the age of this abusive husband is in the same age bracket, like, what constitutes being abusive in that relationship? Like, you know, he wouldn't share the Legos, or he like knocked over her, you know, her toy home or whatever, or like, are we talking like straight up abusive, like this 12-year-old kid was like punching her in the face and, you know, giving her like the rock bottom into a pile of sand, and then like snapping both of her legs? Like, that would be full-on abusive. That makes perfect sense. But it would be even more disgusting and weird if, you know, her abusive husband turns out to be like 51 years old, and they were like betrothed in some sort of extremely awful situation where she never even had a choice in the matter. Like, that would be totally fucked up. Of which I'm glad that she was granted a divorce in that situation. Like, what the hell? Like, what type of social construct is that okay in anywhere? You're like, oh, happy 10th birthday, dear. You're getting married to a guy that's basically old enough to be your grandfather. And like the sad thing is I'm sure that probably happens in way more situations than it ever should, and that is depressing as all hell. But yeah, just like I read that, I read it on like the front page of like MSN.com, and I was like, a 10-year-old girl was granted a divorce from her abusive ass husband. It didn't say abusive ass husband. As ridiculous as headlines get for news places these days, I'm pretty sure MSN of all places wouldn't be like, oh yeah, she totally got a divorce from her abusive ass husband. But yeah, I didn't read all the way into the article to figure out how old the other one was, but just the idea of abusive relationship with 10 to 12-year-old kids seems very strange. What are you gonna do? What the hell are you gonna do? You took my doll and you ripped all of her hair out and wrapped it around your dick? What the hell? What in the almighty hell are you doing? You're ruining my 10-year-old life. I hope that you go to 12-year-old hell. And then he did. He actually did. You know, Satan just like opened up a giant chasm in the ground and was like, hey man, I know I'm Satan and everything, but that's pretty fucked up. You totally, that's not acceptable. How did that 600 get 5th place? How does that happen? I'm assuming that that's going to be, you know, the running rate there. How does that happen? I would assume when that car has upgrades, it's going to be better than even what I'm sporting, but somehow he got 5th place. Couldn't tell you how that works out, but I'm not gonna argue with it. We're totally gonna roll with that. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Well, you know what? I think we're gonna stop right here. I think we're in a pretty good spot. It's nice to know that we have the power to win this thing. And I wonder, is there gonna be a silver arrow challenge in here? I would assume so. Aha! See? This is good. People were telling me also this Boxer Spirit deal, that I can use that Impreza rally car in it, so that's good news. I'm very excited about that. Where are we sitting in terms of percentage? Just out of idle curiosity. 23.2%. Not great, not terrible either. So we'll roll with that. We're going to stop right here, my friends. When we come back on the next installment of Let's Play Gran Turismo 3, we're going to move on to the other 2 races in the Silver Arrow Challenge, and then after that, I think that the only thing that's left that I can think of is the Beetle Cup and the Stars and Stripes Challenge. I think those are the only things left in that cup before we can move on to the Amateur Challenge. Hooray! Oh my god. So, until then, my friends, this is your host, Lovely Cheese Pizza, saying thank you guys for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye, guys.